Over a year ago in Crystal Clear, I attempted to theorize the powers of the diamonds, at least 3 of them, yellow, blue, and white, since at the time, Pink Diamond was all but confirmed, yet she wasn't name dropped yet, and without that official confirmation, it was hard to speculate on her. Granted, White Diamond hasn't been officially confirmed yet in the show, but at that point we already had her mural, and multiple theories of Pearl belonging to her surfacing around the internet. However, when I made my original video, it was very not good. I had an avatar I drew with my finger that was already a year old prior. I was recording from my already cracked iPhone. It just wasn't a good deal. And although a portion of that theory was confirmed through Yellow Diamond's use of her electricity power in the trial, we're gonna try to take another crack at it today on Crystal Clear. This episode of Crystal Clear is sponsored by GemAmino. As many of you know, we worked with Amino before in the past. But if you're new around these parts, you're probably wondering, what is GemAmino? Amino is an amazing one-stop shop for fandoms. As you probably figured out from the name, GemAmino is 100% dedicated to Steven Universe. You can share fan art, make posts for the community to come together and answer, join the many public group chats, and so much more. Since we last sponsored GemAmino, new features such as quizzes, more tabs on the homepage, and for those on the competitive side, leaderboards. For this episode of Crystal Clear, I'm leaving a poll in GemAmino. What do you think White Diamond's powers are? To add that poll, all you have to do is go to my profile, username is OstricVox. It should be the first post you see on there. GemAmino is available for iOS and Android. Links in the description. Now let's get on with Crystal Clear. Welcome back to Crystal Clear on the Roundtable. I'm your host, OstricVox. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Now, the Diamonds have had very small appearances in Steven Universe. I can count all their scenes on one hand. Despite that fact, a lot of people love theorizing about them, including me. They're the main antagonists of the show. Why wouldn't you want to just gush about them? Especially when considering what we have seen of them has been pretty damn good. Their voice actresses go all out. You can tell they really get into character, and they're more complex than just bad to the bone villains. At least with Yellow and Blue Diamond, as they're the only diamonds we have screen time of so far, they have their own differing motives of one another, which makes them that much more unique and interesting in their own way. Their clashing personalities make it that much more entertaining to watch. It makes you crave the next time you're gonna see them that much more. And hopefully throughout season 5, we're gonna get more consistent appearances of them. Yeah, voice actors, budget, building up tension, I've heard it all before. That's not gonna stop me from getting my hopes up and disappointing myself. After all, it's what I do best. Ever since Jasper muttered the name Yellow Diamond in the return at the tail end of season 1, a lot of people quickly drew conclusions that there's more diamonds out there and started speculating what are their powers. Now again, looking at my original take on the diamond's powers, at the very least, mine for Yellow Diamond were confirmed, but instead of going into that now, I'll save it to the portion of this video that's dedicated to only Yellow Diamond, as there's something I didn't consider last time that I want to factor in now. Something that I believe is key to helping us decipher the power of the diamonds, that I'm positive other people have looked at for inspiration already, but I'm going to try to take my own crack at it, make my own conclusions. And after the trial, we have more to work with than ever. Now, apologies for this video's delay. It was supposed to come out before Wanted even aired, but considering the confirmation we got, I'm more than happy that I waited and sat on this topic. The thing that is key to figuring out the diamond's powers is, again, the NFPA diamond. Again, you can spot this on many things. Just look around you, I'm pretty sure you can just find it anywhere in public. And throughout the last 2 or 3 years, a lot of people are pointing fingers at, hey, that's the diamond insignia logo flipped upside down. Or the diamond insignia logo is the NFPA diamond flipped upside down. You get the idea. This was such a genius move on the Cooniverse's part for multiple reasons. Not only with the exception of pink, they have all the colors of the diamonds, but it also matches with their gem placement, again, once you flip it upside down. But what really takes the cake is that the abilities of the diamonds very well could be spread out before our very eyes. Again, could be. Now, in the original Power of the Diamonds video, I only really focused on elemental abilities, which I'm going to in this video with the addition of not only Pink Diamond, who was excluded the first time, but other abilities between white, yellow, and blue that amalgam into the disaster that is corruption. You guys ready? Let's get right into it. First off, we're going to start again with Yellow Diamond. Originally, I theorized that the gem destabilizers were reflective of Yellow Diamond's power, that these weapons were made in her likeliness, kind of harnessing her power on the go. After all, the gem destabilizers emit a yellow electricity, destroying a gem's physical form and causing them to retreat back into their gemstone. I really had no basis for this idea, I just thought it would be cool, that maybe it was a hint for Yellow Diamond's power. And sure enough, in the trial, when Yellow Diamond loses her patience, after she poofs Blue Zircon with her finger, her rampage continues, and she poofs Yellow Zircon by firing a bolt of electricity. And once it hits Yellow Zircon, she shakes and poofs just like how a gem would when hit by a destabilizer. Now look at the NFPA diamond in its yellow section. Yellow is the instability hazard, and it has 4 different levels. 1 is unstable if heated, 2, violent chemical change, and we know Yellow Diamond can be very violent at the flick of a switch. 3 is shock and heat, may detonate, and 4 is just may detonate. Now if we compare to the show, shock and heat and detonate can translate into the stages of gem destabilization. They definitely shock, not too sure about the heat, but then they detonate by retreating back into their gemstone and poofing. When factoring to corruption, we've seen in Monster Reunion that when Centipede reverted back to her corrupted form, her body did glitch out and shake. She wasn't stabilized. I wouldn't be surprised if in the initial stage of corruption, a gem's physical form completely destabilizes and could even poof, and then they reform as a corrupted beast. Now Jasper didn't poof before her corruption, but she did get corrupted through unconventional ways, by fusing with a corrupted gem, so the process was a bit different. We also don't know if the blue destabilizers as seen and stuck together have any different effect than the yellow ones we saw in Jailbreak. After all, it was Aquamarine's ship. Aquamarine is under Blue Diamond's court, so the blue destabilizers make sense, but do they still shock and poof gems? Neither Steven nor Topaz got a chance to use it, so we really don't know. But let's move on to Blue Diamond. For her elemental ability, it's pretty simple. Ice and water manipulation. We see that many gems in her court have water-based abilities. Sapphire has ice, Lapis Lazuli has water manipulation, and both Lapis Lazulis and Aquamarines share water wings. So this seems to be a common trait in Blue Diamond's court, at least for elite gems, although we're not entirely sure if Lapis Lazulis are considered elite. I feel like it'd be wasted potential if these abilities not carry on to their diamond. Although Peridot does have middle bending powers, and we're not sure if Yellow Diamond has middle bending powers, hence why I didn't mention it with her. But that's just one gem. These are multiple gems that have all been exhibited to be under one Pacific court. Although Paparaja's Sapphire could be a different story. Just looking at her, I don't think she has ice powers. I do think she has a certain elemental ability that I'll elaborate with Pink Diamond, since I do believe Paparacha was under Pink Diamond's court. While I'm going to cling on to hope that we get to see Blue Diamond go full on Ice Queen before the end of the series, I do want to talk about the ability she demonstrated in the trial, and how it coordinates to the blue fragment on the NFPA Diamond. Now that section is a health hazard. 1 is slightly hazardous, 2 is hazardous, 3 is extreme danger, and 4 is deadly. How does this tie back to Blue Diamond? Well, in the trial, when she was upset by Steven's words, saying that he probably had to share Pink Diamond with a breaking point, with Blue Diamond being convinced it was a sword, she lets out this blue emotional wave that causes everyone around her to cry. I wouldn't call it emotional manipulation per se, but everyone felt her grief, and I do believe that ties a lot back to health. Going back to Centipede and Monster Reunion, the more emotionally distraught she got, the faster she began to revert back into her full corrupted form. Same with Jasper and the Earthlings. The more emotionally distraught she got, the faster her corruption sped up, ultimately succumbing to it when Steven mistakes her diamond for Yellow Diamond and lets out a big cry for Pink Diamond. That seems almost a year old, and Jasper still isn't back yet. I'm devastated. Now what we saw in the trial was just a small outburst of Blue's power. We can infer that ability was concentrated into whatever became the Corruption Light, the Corruption Song. Not only was the gem destabilized, but their emotional state was greatly tampered with. They felt Blue's grief. When playing a role into corruption, Blue Diamond's grief ability likely messed with the minds of a gem, causing their grief to take over and break their mind, just because they can't cope with it. But I think that opens up a window of opportunity. If Steven can have that grief be resolved, then suddenly the likeliness of a corrupted gem being healed increases exponentially. Their emotional turmoil is blocking whatever Steven can do to help heal them. It's what makes corruption such a complex issue. It's not as simple as healing spit, it requires a conversation. That or the diamonds can directly undo it themselves. I think Centipede inferred that too. Now, very briefly, I want to go over Pink Diamond. Since she was shattered when the corruption light rolled around, she was not a part of it, so therefore, I don't think there's an ability she could have had that would have contributed to it regardless. But her elemental ability is rather simple. Although she's pink, her placement still correlates with the fire hazard, which obviously, the higher the degree Fahrenheit, the more it'll burn. Looking at gems we know are under Pink Diamond's court, amethysts, jaspers, rubies, they have fire-based powers. We've seen amethyst use fire-based power, jasper. Ruby turned an entire pool into steam. So you get the gist. I believe Pink Diamond had fire-based powers. Now, I also thought she had earth-based abilities just looking at Steven and Rose, which is still possible. If anything, I believe she could have healed corruption since Rose and Steven have healing powers. Perhaps that was something they inherited from Pink Diamond herself. Assuming Rose's healing powers are in the same vein as Sapphire's ice powers. And that would be assuming Blue Diamond has ice and water powers. It's a stretch, but so is the gem's stabilization, and that came to fruition, so I'm gonna hold on to this as well. Last but not least is White Diamond. Now, last year, I speculated that White Diamond had powers and abilities similar to Pearl, but that was under the assumption that Pearl served White Diamond, that she was White Diamond's Pearl, which is unconfirmed at this point. Now, looking only at the white fragment of the NFPA Diamond, white is specific hazard, radiation, oxidizer, and so on. The highest being acid, but there's no ranking. Now, considering corrupted gems seem to have repressed memories, and well, very fragmented, I believe White Diamond is the final nail in the coffin for corruption. Yellow Diamond destabilizes their form, or at least their true form. Blue Diamond messes with their mind, but I believe White Diamond's contribution to corruption is what causes them to go haywire, why they take forms of random animals. Now, looking for a specific title for this ability, I just can't think of it. White Diamond is just so mysterious, we really have little to nothing to go off of. Although I still believe, since, you know, white light and everything, White Diamond should be able to produce, like, white beams, kind of like anime-esque ki blasts, similar to Dragon Ball. But I don't want to retread territory I gave last year, under the assumption that Pearl served her, as Pearl is the only gem up to this point to demonstrate duplication and holographic projection. So perhaps she really does share that with White Diamond, but I'm stumped. Perhaps in the comments, you guys can let me know what you think White Diamond's ability is. And that brings me to my overall question. What do you guys think? Do you agree with these abilities, or do you have something different in mind? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section below. Don't forget we have the Blue Diamond I'm Always Feeling Blue t-shirts available until Sunday, July 9th. After this Sunday, it's probably gone forever. Links in the description. Don't forget to download Amino, and if you're feeling generous, support us on Patreon. If you select our diamond tier, we'll shout your channel. Links to everything in the description. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, it really helps us out. Follow us on social media, and Ostrich Vox, signing out. This video has been powered by Patreon. If you want to give us some more support, head to patreon.com/roundtablevids, become a patron, and get some awesome perks. Thanks for watching another video on the Roundtable. If you want to get more involved with our community and watch videos from Let's Talk with Tom, Voxbox, and more, click the video right here. Or if you want to get some more of that animation goodness, watch some Crystal Clear or Meaning Monday, click the video right here. And please, don't forget to subscribe.